Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get real.
Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. D.D. Westbrook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you can just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Yeah, the next-gen stats showing that at an even 57 yards through the air.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. To throw again. Jackson. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
He's going deep for Brown. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now Burrow on first down. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So first and 10 now from the 30. So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Set to kick off.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded in the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. On second down, a run with Dobbins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
It's now 3rd and 4.
From the gun, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. The tight end, C.J. Uzomah, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Burrow. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. And that is going to be incomplete. Well, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Now Dobbins, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And his throw is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. He's going deep for Brown. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
25-yard line.
We're in Baltimore, 3rd quarter action, 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
It's 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Play action. It's Burrow. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
Down, Bengals.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Again, it's Burrow. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Burrow going to throw again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. A former first-round pick, Marlon Humphrey, there to get a hand on it.
After what they faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Burrow on play action. Looking long for Westbrook. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. D.D. Westbrook, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it is 28-0. Taken in the end zone.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
It's so tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. 7 yards on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Dancing to his left. He'll try and run it. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception. Really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now.
Makes the score Bengals 28, Ravens 7. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded in the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. They go screen. This is Ingram. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson looking left side. Andrews with it complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
40-yard line.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
57, Mike, 57. I got you, Pop.
Throwing again. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. Third down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Give him 22 there on the third down conversion. Flush to his right. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. J.K. Dobbins, the one he was looking for. And it's second down.
Second and 10.
To throw again. Jackson. Oh, and for the third time, Jackson going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens, things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Going deep downfield for Ross. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for Cincinnati. 41 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Now Burrow. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. Bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. They go play action with Burrow. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ballgame.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that will extend this big lead.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we see both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass. And everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze it throwing the way we should have. And I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. You guys really missed the boat on me.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And Jackson throwing once more. This will be caught at about the 5. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
3-yard line.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
But yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Tucker now to add the point after. Just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain